everyone, and welcome to Scrap Saturday. This is Monica, and we're jumping right into this layout. I had an idea as soon as I bought this overlay projector paper or clear acetate. I wanted to cut out a circle and use it as a placement for a circular title. And so I'm using my Creative Memories cutting system that I've had since the beginning of time. This is like when I first started scrapbooking. I went to a Creative Memories party, and those circle cutters are awesome. I don't have any other system, and I really like them. I mean, this is as big as I can get the circles to be, so I'm not sure how big that is. Maybe 4 inches. Maybe 5 inches, I'm not sure. And at first I thought in my head that the circle would be large enough to go around the entire surface around the entire photo, but it's not. So it still is going to serve the same purpose. It's going to fit or hold my title perfectly, and I do love the way that it turns out in the end. I actually love this layout so much. And I'm deciding to do a landscape horizontal. Horizontal format for my 8.5 by 11, which if you haven't tried it yet, it is a lot of fun. I mean, use an old piece of paper that you're not too fond of if you're scared to try it out, because I guess the question people mostly ask me is how the orientation is going to be in my albums, and it's going to be no different. You're still going to slide it into a page protector, and then you're going to have to just require those people who are looking into your album to flip the album. And again, I keep saying this, unless you guys have like a museum where people walk in all day long looking at your albums, but that doesn't happen very frequently here at my house. Usually it's looked at on my displays, like my shadow boxes on my walls, or, social media. That's basically where people usually see most of my layouts. But in my home, it's very rare. Maybe the odd, 1 or 2 people actually flip through my albums when they're displayed properly. So I'm cutting up some of that Felicity Jane, I guess you could call them Project Life type cards on the cut apart sheet. And it's just because I thought I was just going to do black and white. And I'm using that base paper that came in my Hip Kit collection. So right now it's kind of a what's on my desk type layout. I'm just using little bits and pieces from everything that was still left over. And sometimes that's how I do it. I don't really mind if it's from one place or another, or if it's strictly like there are no rules. There never could be any rules in scrapbooking. It's basically do what makes you happy. It's been a while since I said that. So I just layered up a whole bunch of those cut apart cards behind the photo, and I just love it. I didn't really think I was going to use that red and white card, but I really like that pop of color right there. It just somehow made it feel right. So I just went with it. And here I'm using the circular form of that acetate piece. And I think I only moved a couple of my letters to adjust them, but it went down seamlessly. And I quite enjoyed working with this. The idea was in my head, like I said, I kind of brainstorm once in a while, and I just felt, yeah, this is what I want to do. And even the spacing, I'm like, oh, I did a good job. Like here, I think I adjust that a little bit just because I'm getting towards the end, but I still think it works out perfect. So this is a photograph of my father and my sister's son, Alexander. So he's my godson and my nephew. And it's one of those amazing times where I had my cell phone, and my dad, I got his attention. I think he was saying something funny, and I caught him in a mid smile, that's a good face for my dad. That's a good face, yes. And I don't know, it was just a random photo that I took at my sister's house. I think this was like last fall, like last year, just before Alexander turned 1. Unless he's a lot younger than that. I think that's 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. So please forgive me, because now he's 2 and I just had a mental block there. But it seems like time goes by so fast, I guess, to be quite honest. And when I first took the photo, of course, it was just in the moment, because I do really try to be very thoughtful and take photos. So this photo, when I went to go look up all of my photos on my phone and what I wanted to print sort of hit me more than at the time when I took it, because of course now, my mom is not with us. And when I saw and I looked closely and I saw that Alexander was holding on to my dad's hand, I thought, wow, this is where time is slowly changing, and where you see the change in who, or what we thought we were when we were growing up. My dad is not the huggy, smushy type father. He was a very strict, military, because he actually spent 2 years in the army type dad, very Portuguese, old-fashioned immigrant, where there was no expression of emotions. There was no humbling of a feeling, a touch or a sensation in that. And so a lot of times my siblings, we kind of look at each other and remark when we would catch my dad, now with his grandchildren, in a moment where we become so humbled because we think, wow, there's a human inside there. And I say that a little bit sarcastic and a little bit shying away from, broaching the topic, but it's not a secret. I think every family has their dealings with, and my dad, he is also an alcoholic. So we grew up in a home where we had many challenges. And of course, there's so many stories that I'm probably going to look forward to telling you, because I do feel that there are many more photos of my mom that I will be scrapbooking that will all sort of somehow tie into each other. And when you live with someone who has a disease of that nature, and I do use the word disease with a great amount of respect, and you understand where their past led them or how they came about, and it's just ironic, as I put down this quote, it's all okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. And I thought, sometimes you get things in scrapbooking kits and you wonder, like, as I put down the word wonder, what would we use these things for, or what purpose do they entail in our crafting world? And taking photographs really mean a lot to me, and they dictate a purpose of healing in so many ways. And when I put that down, I'm not thinking at that moment when the photo was taken. I'm thinking in this moment, when I humbly look upon my dad, where it's so easy to be angry and so easy to point fingers and so easy to say why, and to wonder where this life has taken us and how come we've gone down this crazy winding road in these past few months. But when I look at this photo and I capture him in a moment where that's the eyes I need to use, those are the feelings I need to capture, and I have to always remember that forgiveness is such an easy word to say. It's so easy, you should forgive, and it's so hard to do and move forward. But when I see him in this caring manner with Alexander, I love it. I love that Alexander gets to see a side of my dad that we didn't grow up with, and that we still have an opportunity, because we're so open-minded, to embrace him, that we still get to capture these memories, and that we get to heal ourselves and understand that he wasn't taught love. He wasn't shown how to hold someone's hand and how to care and how to smile. He was brought up in an environment and in a society, literally, that was, boys don't cry, boys don't have feelings, and women were also geared and seen in a very harsh light, which there's so many women movements happening at the moment, and I can attest to it. I grew up in a household where, yes, my father's brainwashed idea of what women were and what role they played is not one that I foster in my own home. So, as emotional as I get all the time, I had someone leave me a comment and say that they were so happy that I used this media as an outlet to let you know how I'm doing and how I'm feeling, because I feel that we're healing each other with our words, and we're healing each other with our stories and with our scrapbooking, and that there's got to be such a different, deeper purpose to just, gluing down pieces of paper. For me, it truly is therapy. It's allowing me to grieve or to grow as a person, and to become a better mom, to become a better wife, to become a better scrapbooking friend, so that you can see that, yes, we take photos, and yes, we put them on Instagram, and maybe we all pretend that there's this perfect moment or this perfect home, but that's not the truth. There are many perfect moments, yes, but they're underlined with sometimes some shady things that we choose not to talk about when we should. We should really be okay with expressing what the truth is and how we've come to this crossroads. I think it's the elegance of allowing yourself to be who you are, but not be defined by the choices someone else in your life made, right? You know what I mean? I'm not my father's mistakes and I'm not his past. I'm just Monica, right? And we're moving forward in this light together. And so with our children, with my sister's beautiful son and my dad also, I'm very proud of him. You know, he's choosing to embrace a new passage, a new chapter in his life where he understands now that maybe some of the things he chose in the past were not the best decisions. But again, he had to be forgiven because those were the only choices he knew how to make. And so as I digress with that long speech, maybe it resonates with you and maybe it doesn't. I'm coming down to the point where I absolutely love the way this layout turned out, using a lot of that Wonder die cut collection where I told you in the past I thought it didn't inspire me because I've had 2 of these packages in the past, but today it just all came together again. I loved this leaf paper right from the start when I cut it up. I didn't know what photo I was going to use with, but I thought, you know, leaf, a new start, a new life, and my dad loves gardening as well. I love the clock. I mean, again, it just fit perfectly into that circle. I barely moved, you know, the acetate piece, and I just love the way the Hold My Hand looks. And that's sort of, you know, I purposely use that title to draw your eye into looking at that and noticing that, yeah, you know, he's holding on to his hand. Again, with some more pops of these red enamels, dots from Recollections, and I love it. Not that I thought I was going to do it. It looks so amazing with that Heidi Swapp background that I created. And I just love the gold. The gold is amazing. Coming in with another little gray enamel shaped heart right there. And yeah, all the little tags and tidbits that I cut up. Things that, you know, the 60, I think I use that because my dad's in his 60. Number 15, I have no idea. Just the red, the pop of red was a good balance. And I really do like using paper clips in my on my layouts. So I'm going to come in with some more of the Heidi Shine just because I really like the globs of deliciousness that creates with it. Yes, Valerie, I use deliciousness again. And then this one that's the lighter shade. I think it's like a green color, not so much the teal. And now the stamp set that I'm using is from, I think it's Becky Higgins. It's her Project Life stamp set, and I really like what it says. Enjoy the little things. And I think it's every day is a new beginning. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And so thank you so much, guys. I hope that you take what I say with good faith and good heart, and knowing that we're all in this together. Be inspired. Grab that photo that touched your heart and go to town with all the little bits and pieces you have on your desk. Thank you so much, guys, and a great big hug to all of you.